How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Cine Critique. If you would have told me back in October or November of last year that I'd be making a video in 2020 telling you guys the things I loved most about Sonic the Hedgehog, I would have thought you were borderline insane. But here I am, about to tell you the 5 things I absolutely loved about Sonic the Hedgehog. I guess you can call me a sucker for nostalgia, but with that disclaimer out the way, let me get to the 5 things I loved about Sonic the Hedgehog. Number 5. Alright guys, let's just get the easy one out of the way here. When the first teaser trailer for Sonic came out and we got our first glimpse of Sonic, I lost all hope for this movie. Sonic's character design was just that bad. I mean, Sonic looked like the Cookie Monster fucked the Monkey Boy from Jumanji in real life, and they had a love child. But I guess they were trying to go for something realistic of what Sonic would look like in real life. But it's a fucking video game character, okay? About a blue hedgehog who's faster than the speed of light. We didn't want that realistic bullshit. We wanted nostalgia in our veins. But thankfully, me and my friends of the internet bitched enough and the studio actually listened to us for a change. They changed the look of Sonic more to look like the video game and cartoon version of Sonic than that bootleg version we were getting in the first trailer, and it made all the difference in the world. It's a cartoonish animation for a cartoonish movie with a cartoonish villain, and the movie works because of it. Would this movie have worked if Sonic looked like a blue Chewbacca? I don't think so. Number 4. Another thing I loved about this movie was Ben Schwartz. He's the guy who voiced Sonic. I gotta give him some shine here because he just puts the right amount of emphasis of comedy and heart, and it's a very endearing voice performance. It's a cute Sonic, it's a fun Sonic. Ben Schwartz truly does a great job putting a personality behind that video game character. I definitely wouldn't have loved this movie as much if Ben Schwartz didn't voice Sonic. It made all the difference in the world. Number 3. So coming in at number 3 of things I loved about Sonic the Hedgehog are, of course, all the video game Easter eggs. You can't make a video game movie without putting a plethora of Easter eggs in the movie, and this one definitely doesn't disappoint. If you grew up playing the video games like me, you couldn't help but geek out at all the number of references in this movie. There was a nod to Sega at the beginning. Sonic got to run through Green Hill Zone. The ring was basically just essentially a portal through different worlds. That was pretty cool. There were a bunch of fun little Easter eggs that diehard fans like me or you would definitely appreciate, but it also didn't take away from the movie and bog it down so much that the casuals wouldn't enjoy it. There was a pretty cool balance between story and nostalgia, and it played a pretty key factor why this movie is doing so well critically and commercially in the box office. Number 2. So the second thing I loved about Sonic the Hedgehog was the performance of Jim Carrey. I don't know what generation you're from, but in my generation, we grew up with Jim Carrey. If you don't think Liar Liar is one of the best comedies of all time, well, I'm sorry, we can't be friends, because whether you like it or not, whether you like Jim Carrey, agree with his politics or whatever, you can't deny that this man is a comedic legend, and he turns in another classic Jim Carrey performance here. The way he just chews into his personal assistant throughout this movie had me dying laughing. I saw a little bit of Grinch, a little bit of Ace Ventura, a bit of The Mask in this performance, and I just loved every minute of it. Easily my second favorite part of this movie. I'll tell you my favorite part in a second, but I think Jim Carrey was the perfect casting choice because as a guy who's 30, I grew up with Sonic and Jim Carrey right around the same time as a kid, so again, all of this nostalgia just injected in my veins. Number 1. Alright guys, so my number 1 takeaway and my favorite thing I loved about Sonic the Hedgehog, and this is gonna be a spoiler, which is part of the reason why I saved this for last, so if you don't want to be spoiled, you can stop watching, but before you do, don't forget to subscribe. My number 1 favorite moment was, of course, getting to see Tails, baby! I don't care that he was only on screen for 30 minutes. I don't care that it was a post-credit scene. When Tails jumps out of that portal and we see him near Green Hills, Montana, everyone in the theater geeked the fuck out. You can't have Sonic without Tails. You can't have that cinematic universe without the other. That's like a Super Mario without Luigi, a Batman without Robin, a Cheech without Chong. You get the idea. Also, they nailed the animation way better with Tails than they initially did with Sonic, so we could at least rest easy there. All in all, I think Sonic the Hedgehog has got to go down as my favorite movie going experience of 2020 so far. There were a few things I didn't like about the movie. The movie's not perfect by any means, but it was funny. It had heart, it had action, it had everything a Sonic movie needed in order to deliver. And if you haven't watched this movie, I definitely suggest you go to the movie theater and catch this on the big screen, because it's definitely my favorite movie going experience of 2020. But alright guys, thanks for watching the 5 things I loved about Sonic the Hedgehog. Go ahead and like this video and subscribe to my channel. And remember, stories may fade, but real legends never die.